Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Now, as you can see, I have on a blue shirt, and I think that is apropos as I have done a perspectives video about chase cards. And I think now it's AMEX's turn. So as always, I'm gonna let my co-star do her thing, and then we are going to jump right into it.
Welcome back to my dad's channel. If you're new here, make sure to click that like button and subscribe, and don't forget to share.
So without a lot of fluff and a lot of pomp and circumstance, I'm going to jump into my first perspective, and this is my honest thought. You can feel free to argue with me in the comments. Tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. Unsub, do whatever it is that you have to do. But my first perspective is that while AMEX does have the most transfer partners out of the major credit card transfer ecosystems, I don't think they have the best. And it is no secret that I'm a huge fan of AMEX and their ecosystem and so on and so forth and the like. I've been called an AMEX fanboy in my own comments. I've been called everything short of an AMEX shill. And it's maybe because I don't put like my referral links and stuff, which I probably should start doing, but that's another video for another day. But the fact is that their transfer partners, I do not think are the best. And the reason being is because even though they have halo partners like Qantas, Qatar Airways, Hilton, Virgin, Air Canada, British Airways, these are great travel partners that I have used to leverage amazing flights. They even have the exclusive Delta as a travel partner. But AMEX, because of their hunt for money, has some of the not so great transfer ratios, like the JetBlue transfer ratio. And, you know, that's just to name one as an example. Whereas other ecosystems like Chase and Capital One, pretty much all of their transfers are a minimum of 1-to-1. I can't really say that quantity beats quality here, because I would rather a 1-to-1 ratio, so I don't really have to do a lot of mathematics or, you know, really depend on the fact of these differences that they're just not necessary. I just want to transfer my points and go. And Amex's, you know, business style just doesn't allow for that. In addition to that, I mentioned the exclusive Delta that they do have. Other ecosystems just don't have Delta, but as a matter of fact, they might. I got to tell you, barely researched this, literally going, my perspective, my gut feeling, but the fact that in order to transfer MR points to Delta Sky Pesos, you have to pay them either in points or in cash to transfer your points from one ecosystem to the next, and they're the only one who does it. Now, mind you, people have actually done it. I know of people who have done it and paid the fee for the Delta flight because it was a minuscule amount, but it's the principle of the matter. And frankly, the issue with that is that basically there's money being left on the table and the wrong person is saying, give me that. And that doesn't work for me, because we all know how I feel about leaving money on the table. Give me that. So with that being said, that is my perspective on AMEX and their travel partners. I use them, I leverage them to the hilt, but are they the best? No. I mean, I just don't think they are. I'm not impressed. Sorry, AMEX. Now for the next perspective. I am going to let you know, just in case you didn't know, my viewing audience and even some of my optimizers, pound for pound, the best AMEX card to have for the everyday user is the green card. It's 3x categories with travel, restaurants, transit. It automatically returns value with the clear credit for occasional travel and lounge buddy credit. Look, pound for pound, in the charge card game, in the card game period, if you're going to be in the AMEX market, that is going to be the card you will probably get the most use out of, in addition to its AMEX offers. Now, why would I say the most use? With the gold card's recent annual fee bump, the fact is that most people do not do a ton of grocery shopping, especially at grocery stores proper. A lot of people use Walmart. If you use Walmart Neighborhood Market, of course, you can get around that because that will code for the 4X for the gold card, but let's just face it, Walmart tends to be cheaper than your average grocery store if you have access to it, and most people will opt to save a few bucks on the same food that's gonna get wolfed down at the dinner table anyway. So with that being said, the green card, by all means, as far as my estimation, I hold the green, the gold, and the platinum. I can tell you pound for pound, for the everyday user, for the occasional flyer, for the John Everyman, if you are going to do a charge card, most of us really qualify for the green card, and I think it is the best all-around card for everybody's everyday happenings. Now, a close second for me is actually one of my other favorite Amex cards, and it's not the one you're thinking of, but it's the Everyday Preferred. Now, the Everyday Preferred has a $95 annual fee, and just like the Everyday card, it's an MR point earning card. And if you use it 30 times in a month, you get a 50% boost. So if you were to pair these two, there's your grocery category as well, because with the 50% boost, you can actually get to 4.5 MR points per dollar spent at grocery stores for $95. As a matter of fact, both of these combined gives you the utility of the gold card, and you're still under the annual fee for holding one card, plus you get extra multipliers in travel and transit. That's a pretty potent duo. Now, a lot of people, if they find that clicking too many times to use Uber and so on and so forth is inconvenient, of course they are going to whine and piss and moan about the fact that you have to use the Everyday Preferred card 30 times in a month in order to get said boost, but it's really not that terribly difficult. Most people have a morning routine. Most people have subscriptions that they put on. Trust me, if so motivated, you could do it, and this is a much cheaper option for the everyday person. You don't have to be a points optimizer, a points maximizer, or min-maxer, or whatever that term is, in order to enjoy MR points that you can then use for big value with trips that you can take. So that is my perspective as far as I'm concerned. Pound for pound, I will echo previous perspectives that I had. The green card is an absolute monster, and the EDP comes in at a close second. Combine the two, which is part of my everyday trifecta, which you can see in this video right here, you know, you really can get over on Amex without spending a ton of money, which is the aim of their game. Now, speaking of Amex's goals, I don't think that a lot of people in the credit card community understand, or maybe they understand and are disillusioned and not really dealing with reality here. But look, stop. Come here. Amex is hunting whales. You might not qualify. If you can't, I live in Florida, South Florida. I went to high school in South Florida, and I used to hear a phrase a long time ago: if you can't run with the big dogs, then stay on the porch. You have a lot of people who complain, and a lot of other splinter groups of people who bellyache about the credits, bellyache about the annual fees and the annual fees going up, which they will. Annual fees never go down, they always go up. You have a lot of people who complain about all of these things, but remember, getting these cards is a choice. It's not compulsory. It's not perfunctory to get into the credit card game to say that you have to have an Amex. You don't. You never have to get an American Express card, and you can actually get very, very valuable points that you can then trade and have wild and crazy trips and have amazing memories. So instead of complaining about it, understand that Amex has decided they are in the hunt for whales. They want people who are mindlessly going to spend on these cards. That's why they're going to give you these monthly credits that you have to keep track of. Let's hope that your need to belong to the Amex club overrides your need to maximize these credits. That is the aim of the game. What's the point of complaining about it? If that's the case, pull out the Joe Barretto snips and start snipping up those faux metal cards that we love to show off. Or you can just simply make the choice to understand the ecosystem of which you are entering and make the most of it. But I'm gonna tell you now, I'm gonna say it again. Listen to your godfather. They are hunting whales, so if I were you, I would make sure that the ocean isn't too deep, because Amex ain't playing. Now, here's another one that may shock a few. Like I said, I'm a known Amex fanboy. I'm a big fan of Amex. I like using their cards. I like how their system works. I like the customer service. But this perspective is actually about a card that is rarely spoken about in our credit card community because no one has it, and that's the black card. I'm going to let you know this is how I honestly feel about the black card. It is literally the founder's card on steroids. The black card is one of the poorest earning cards, even more so, I would say, than the platinum card, which is not a stellar earner. The platinum business, I think, is actually better. But the platinum business, the platinum and the black card are obviously made for high spenders. Those whales I talked about in the previous perspectives. But as far as the black card goes, you're paying a lot of money for the perks and features. That's it. You know, high Delta status, diamond status with Hilton. They're rolling a lot of things in where it's just like, it is literally the founder's card on anabolics. Like, I'm talking Mr. Olympia, just top of the line steroids. That's really it. Other than that, that is the one time that AMEX has taken a page out of Chase's book for exclusivity vis-a-vis the 524 rule and made the fact that it is an invitation only card that is only served to feed the mystique of the black card. Now, as a point of order, this is something I've actually pointed out before, that the platinum card that we all know and love, well, some of us love, or at least everybody claims to know, actually started out as an invitation card, only card as well. So if you rewind back to whenever the platinum card came out, I don't remember off the top of my head, you would be speaking about the platinum card the way I'm speaking about the black card right now. The black card's just a founder's card on steroids. That's it. I mean, if you can afford it, if they invite you, hey, great, take the all-metal card, go get your $1,000 a year from Saks, get your $3,600 Equinox gym credit, and still look like you need another gym credit because you're busy flying around and being awesome. That's all there is to it. That's all I got to say about the black card. Don't get me wrong. If AMEX offered me one, said I qualified for it and I could afford it, would I get it? Yeah. But I don't. They won't. And it still is just a souped up membership card. So, as always, I like to end these with a YouTube perspective. And the YouTube perspective at hand was actually inspired by Calvin at 850 Club Credit. He recently did a live feed with Sledge. Great. He dropped some gems just about YouTube in general and pathways to success. I want to congratulate him on passing the magical 100K mark, getting his Google Play button. I couldn't think of a better person who deserved it, who grinded, who really pays attention to their audience and, you know, takes care of them, looks out for them, and really tries to reach out to them on their proper level. So this one is for you, Calvin, and you inspired this perspective, and salute to you. But this perspective is, don't dilute your channel. Now, I know you may be thinking, but Chad, you do credit card content, you do travel, you're kind of diluting your channel. Yes, but my travel is directly related to, say, credit card points. I'm not going to do a cash trip and put it on here. I'm just not. Because, well, that has nothing to do with the core of my channel. Even though I pivoted from straight money minutes into long form content while I was getting the channel off the ground, the travel is still related, but you have people who will do a travel channel and then all of a sudden they'll be talking about 90 Day Fiance because the motion so moved them to share their thoughts, and that's not what people tuned in for. Calvin made great representative examples of this. And as a matter of fact, do me a favor, check that live out. It's right here. So he made those examples as well. Like, I have a million thoughts swirling in my head, and credit cards are not the only thing that I know, but I know for a fact when I've done videos on this channel about stock, they have particularly not done well. Even larger players in the game, like Sebi, have made it a point to split off their channels to business and personal, because instead of having something that a smaller set of people are interested in dragging down your channel, like RJ with Run on the Bank, he couldn't mix it with the credit cards. They just split it off in order to not dilute the brand that people have come to know and trust. So for my people coming up in the YouTube game, find your lane, be in your lane, and be very cognizant of what it is that you're talking about. If it is not something that you normally talk about, please make sure you have an easy and understandable segue in order to relate the two, so that the people who get on and look for your credit card content can understand why you did 3 stacks at Costco and did a workaround and a roundabout in order to get your favorite ficus at your house delivered for free. And with the points, you're going to Key West. That's just an example. But those are my perspectives as far as I can see them. It was time to do AMEX. Had to show Chase the love first. And we all know how I feel about Chase. But AMEX isn't perfect. So I thank you so much for joining me. I also want to give a big shout out and thank you to all of my newest channel members. I appreciate you to no end. Thank you so much for directly supporting the channel. I will always release all videos early to channel members so they can peruse them and feel free to make their comments at will before they get released to the greater and wider audience. And with that, you can see from my background here, I'm in a hotel room. It is eerily quiet. That means the AC is off. You know what these lights do to me. Next thing you know, I'll be a shiny milk dud. So I'll see you later. Oh, wait a minute. Pointy thing. Pointy thing. Boom. Hold on. I'm pointing at two of them, right? Yeah. Okay. Now I'll see you later.